Welcome to the Center of the World Festival. This is a multifaceted festival which takes place at the base of Mount Pinos in the Los Padres National Forest in Pine Mountain Club. The annual cultural celebration is inspired by Chumash legends, to whom Mount Pinos was Liikshup, or Center of the World. The festival themes are based upon the Chumash concept of keeping balance with the universe and humankind. CalFest has an arts and culture focus as a communitas theater. This means that people across all the arts come together to learn, connect, and share to promote our local culture, which includes our personal attitudes, feelings, values, and behavior that characterize our community as a whole. We use a social storytelling theater approach for solving of community sustainability problems. CalFest seeks to combine all artistic and creative approaches in telling stories which reflect our community problems. We aim for social change, and changes in all senses of the word. Personal, local, national, global. How we think, how we form our own sense of self, how we interact with others on a daily basis. We paid tribute to the Native American approach, as that form of storytelling served as their main tool of social education and cultural sustainability. And we use all modern forms of storytelling, from readers' theater to songwriting to digital technology as venues for social idea expression. CalFest is a success because of you. As a past volunteer, your efforts and gifts of time and energy now move us to the next level. We need you to help CalFest fulfill its mission to create an enduring cultural arts nonprofit for our community. The nonprofit organization's short name is CalFest. This video will introduce you to the concepts which underline the mission and purposes of CalFest. These are 501c3 membership-run nonprofit, arts and culture focus using social storytelling approaches, and grant prizes to encourage Communitas coalition building. We are structured as a membership-run nonprofit. How is this different from the usual nonprofit? You might compare CalFest to the private sector as an employee-owned company, with the exception that no profits can be divided among members. However, please keep in mind this does not prevent you from making money as a voting member. We just have to follow different state and federal rules. How can you become a voting member? Simple. Just fill out a volunteer application and pay yearly dues. For hardship situations, CalFest has sponsors who will pay the dues for you. CalFest is a communitas nonprofit, which means that everyone in the community, local and expanded, is eligible to become a voting member. The Board of Directors is elected from the voting membership. This board meets once a year. 2 or more members are elected as the Executive Committee, who remain in an ongoing contact with the voting members. The officers are voting members and are appointed by the Board of Directors. All steering committees are headed by voting members, with either an officer or board member presiding for legal duties. What are the duties of the Board of Directors? The Board of Directors have a fiduciary duty to CalFest. This means a legal duty to make sure that the nonprofit fulfills its mission, does not violate IRS rules, only does what the insurance policies allow, and do not violate the bylaws. Everyone involved in CalFest has to follow all these legal guidelines. It is the Board of Directors' legal duty to make sure that this occurs. What are the duties of the officers? These include the President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer. One officer will preside at all meetings of the voting members. It is that officer's duty to make a written report to the Executive Committee. Remember, the Executive Committee is oversight only. If the proposed activity or changes to any activity does not affect legal issues, there is no further direction from the board. The voting members run CalFest. What is the role of the voting membership? They actually plan and run the entire nonprofit activities. Currently, the primary focus has been upon the annual festival. However, CalFest has a broad mission and purpose statement approved by the IRS for all types of activities which can be held throughout the year. Some of the steering committees: voting membership, seasonal volunteers, projects such as digital storytelling, Lilac Festival parade and booth, volunteer awards show, songwriting contest, playwriting competition, storytelling night, grant writing, coalition building, website development, marketing, annual festival planning, sponsorships, and any other committees that a voting member may wish to establish. So let's discuss the fiduciary duties in more detail, especially as they relate to IRS requirements for 501c3 status. The first requirement is called the organizational test. CalFest cannot engage in a substantial way in other activities which are not defined in its California state incorporation documents. Even though these activities may be carried out by other nonprofits, CalFest is limited to its own defined mission. The specific purposes for which this corporation is organized are to provide charitable, educational, and scientific services to promote communitist theater for artistic creativity interconnected with ecosystems, cultural history, and local sustainable community as processes and venues for bringing about community change. These charitable, educational, and scientific purposes will take the form of workshops, networking, cultural tourism, festivals, literature, and other venues, which evolve from the communitist theater approach. And don't forget, CalFest is designed as a money-making nonprofit. What is your idea? Hold a workshop for songwriting? Apply for a grant to bring cultural entertainers to the festival? Make a movie of the CalFest process? Organize an artisan's craft show for the annual festival? We have a wide range of IRS-approved purposes and activities. There is something for everyone. Just imagine. The term communitas is very important in understanding the mission and purposes of CalFest. All voting members share in the joint possession and use of CalFest assets. Communitas means that all people, as equals, participate to increase the benefit of all. Communitas, as theater, is defined as a place of enactment of significant events or actions. It is not a building. It is not community theater. It is a happening. Its activities enable our community to see its social self through its various artistic endeavors. It places artists and art at the center of community, nurturing an enduring sense of place, and builds relationships between diverse peoples. The legal structure of a membership-run nonprofit was chosen with specific intent to further the communitas purpose. And according to IRS, we have additional requirements beyond that faced by the usual nonprofit organization. In order to maintain tax-exempt status, CalFest must show that it is publicly supported, which applies to all nonprofits. But in addition, CalFest must show, 1. That it is enrolling members in the community, and 2. That its dues are reasonable to make membership available to all, rather than to restrict membership to a limited number of persons, and 3. That its activities address broad common interests of the community. And a final aspect of CalFest. By offering grant prizes, which encourage the festival participants to continue to develop their artistic vision, whether through storytelling, music, art, or writing, we encourage community sustainability. We help to create the local economy that reflects the cultural arts of our community. Thank you for watching this orientation video. We hope you join as a voting member and help create a cultural arts nonprofit all of the community can be proud of. All of your questions will be answered at the in-person orientation which you attend.